I have no idea. It comes out in the sermon. Good morning. It's great to see everyone's face out there today. Beautiful early winter, crisp day. Look at the blue sky out of the windows. Beautiful. We are very lucky to live where we do. Welcome to the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist in Newburyport, Massachusetts. My name is Steve Costello, and I'm honored to be your worship associate this morning. All of us at FRS come together as a church community, online and in person, committed to love, peace, and justice. Here we hold up as core values authentic connection, courageous action, love, spirituality, and wonder. Our mission and our invitation to all of you is to come as you are, journey together in love, act with courage, transform our world. If you're visiting today or joining us for the first time, welcome. We are very glad to have you here. If you're online and you'd like access to this morning's order of service, please click on the link just below the live stream. I'd like to draw your attention to the many events and activities going on here that are listed in the order of service. Please take a moment to look these things over. Everyone is also invited to join us after the service this morning in the lower meeting house for coffee, goodies, and our Passion Action Fair. Did I mention there's going to be goodies down there? Okay. Thank you all so much. It's good to be together.
It is indeed good to be together. And Happy New Year again. As we enter into this year of 2023, may it be a year of mystery, may it be a year of blessings, may it be a year where we truly, truly recognize all of who it is that we are called to be and allow ourselves to experience those gifts within ourselves and within each other. And to that end, I'd like to invite us now to turn to a neighbor to greet one another just with a hello, a smile, a namaste. But let's wish each other welcome and peace. Our call to worship this morning is a quote from Reverend Greeley, a Unitarian Universalist minister, from a sermon he wrote entitled Building for the Future. And this is what he said. He said, "The present is a bridge between the past and the future. It is the existential now. The present is a bridge between the past and the future. It is indeed the existential now. You are joyfully and faithfully called to worship."
Good morning, everyone. We've sung this song together before, but I'll remind you if it's new for you, so just repeat after me. It goes like this. Peace in my soul, peace in my soul, peace within my soul, peace within my soul, peace within my soul, all over the world, peace within my soul, all over the world. And that's the whole thing. So let's sing it together a few times and really get into the spirit of what it is calling us to. Here we go. And peace in my soul, peace within my soul, peace within my soul, all over the world. And peace in my soul, peace within my soul, within my soul, all over the world. Now we're getting into it. And peace in my soul, peace within my soul, peace within my soul, all over the world. How about one more time? And peace in my soul, peace within my soul, peace within my soul, all over the world.
The words to the chalice lighting are in your order of service. Let's say them together as Betsy lights the chalice. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Each week, we also light 2 candles of peace, representing 2 places on earth we lift up and remember as a sacred encounter with our world. We know that there are untold numbers of places on earth that need peace. These 2 we hold close in our hearts through this week and this service and through the days to come. After each candle is lit, I invite you to respond with the words peace in 3 languages: peace, Sol, Shalom. Our first candle this morning is lit for the United States, where since 2007, January 11th has been recognized as National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. The purpose of this day is to bring attention to and opposition to human trafficking here in this country. We work to uphold the rights and the worth of all people, and we vow to do all we can to create a country where all people are free and treated with dignity. To this we respond, peace, Sol, Shalom. And our second candle this morning is lit for the state of Massachusetts, where last Thursday Governor Maura Healey was sworn in as the first woman and the first member of the LGBTQ community to be elected governor in our state. And I join those with, and to quote her words, "This is a state where we will never relinquish the right to reproductive freedom, where we prize and protect human rights and civil rights and gay rights and equality and democracy." To this we respond, peace, Sol, Shalom. Please rise now in body or in spirit, and let's join together in our opening hymn. It is number 1000 in your teal hymnal, Morning Has Come. If it is your first time hearing it, just wait till you're comfortable and join on in. And also, I feel like a teacher in first grade, but there's these empty pews up here and all you back there. If anybody wants to come and join me up front, it would be lovely to have you. Let's join our voices. please remain standing as we join our voices in our affirmation of faith, followed by the doxology. The words can be found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Please be seated. And at this time, we would like to invite all of our children and youth to come forward for our time for all ages. Thank you, Yvonne. I've been waiting for someone to sit up here with me. Hi, sweetie. Take a seat. Welcome, welcome. Hello, 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 hello. Come on up. Hello. Wow, it's great to see everybody. Hi. Hello, hello. Hi, Mara.
Hey, hi, Reverend Rebecca.
How are your holidays?
Oh, they were really sweet. I had lots of time to hang out and be cozy with my kids, Max and May, and our dog and our 2 cats. And how about you? Did you have a good holiday? Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Well, let me answer your first question first. We did have a good holiday. Did you all have a good holiday? Yeah, we did too. I got to be with my kids too, but my kids, some of them are about this big. But it was really good to be with them. And the question about New Year's resolutions, I did make some New Year's resolutions, but I like to think of them as intentions rather than resolutions.
So kind of like reminders of what's important to us?
Exactly.
How about you guys? Did any of you make New Year's resolutions? It's okay if you didn't.
You know, Mara, and all of you, I like thinking about what matters at New Year's. I know there are a lot of people, and for a long time, I actually was pretty anti-resolution. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make New Year's resolutions, partially because I often felt bad about myself when I didn't necessarily do them. But I think I also had some misunderstandings. I thought that it was all about making myself into what I should be, or making myself better, or fixed, or something like that. And so I really enjoyed doing it, but I was really confused, to be honest.
What do you mean by that? Could you tell us a little bit more? Because honestly, sometimes I get a little confused about resolutions.
Yeah, well, actually, I made a list of things I've learned over the years about resolutions. I did, and I will. I'll share a few of them. The first and most important thing that I've learned about resolutions or intentions or taking the time to think about what matters to me is that it is mine alone. That those resolutions or goals or intentions, that no one else has a right to tell me what they are. No one else has a right to tell me what matters to me, and that it's really just my decision.
So, does that mean that my goals are no one else's business?
Yes, because what matters to you doesn't have to matter to Betsy, and it doesn't have to matter to me. You know what else, Mara? I want to tell you something else I've learned about goals. Hold on. Can you hold this, please?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Goals. I used to think that with goals, you either made it or you didn't. You either got the goals and succeeded or you failed. But I've learned differently. So it doesn't matter. I do my best and then we see. Oh, I didn't come close, did I? No. It was still a lot of fun, and I learned I probably should have been looking at the basket. So I learned things at the same time.
Oh, I love that. The thing that I know about goals is that they should come from inside of you and make good feelings in your stomach, like excitement or happiness. And that everyone has the right to their dreams and goals.
Are you saying I have a right to my dreams?
Yes.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Oh my gosh, I like that a lot. Can we try that together? Like everyone here and all these amazing children? Mara and I are going to say this. We're going to say, you have a right to your dreams. And you say, who, me? And we're going to respond, yes, you. Shall we try it? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a right to your dreams. Yes, you.
Let's do it again. You
Have a right to your dreams.
Yes.
Yes, you.
Do. God, that feels so good. So the last thing I want to share about what I've learned about goals and dreams and resolutions is that it is helpful if we can have a friend or a family member or someone we trust that we can share these things with. But only if they're respectful and only if they're kind. And in fact, it's probably more wise to keep it to ourselves until we know who that person or people are or is. So when we share these dreams and goals with people, they can ask questions and they can encourage us, but they have no right to tell us how to do it or what it should be.
That is really comforting to hear, isn't it? Thank you. And now we invite all of you to join in singing hymn number 413, Go Now in Peace, and sing these children to Young Church.
This is the time in our service when the offering will be gratefully received. The generosity of our community is an essential ministry that supports the work of the church both in Newburyport and beyond. Each week, 50% of the offering, not designated as a pledge, goes to a local community partner engaged in important efforts to transform our region. The January shared collection will support the Community Service of Newburyport Campership program. Community Service of Newburyport provides support through clothing, emergency relief, and referral services, and it also provides a food pantry for people in need in Newburyport, Newbury, and West Newbury. In addition, they run the Holiday Gift Bag program for children and seniors. In the summer, the organization provides 2 weeks of summer camp for children. In order to give online, please use the link in your order of service or below the live stream. You can also make a contribution by text. And of course, you can always mail a check to the church as well. Thank you. The offering will be now gratefully received.
One of the many beautiful traditions of this beloved church community is that we take time every time we're together on a Sunday morning to lift up the joys and sorrows of our members and friends. This morning we have several pieces of news to share, joys and sorrows. First, we hold Dorothy Fairweather and her family and many members of this congregation who share their mourning as we mourn the death of her beloved husband, Howard Fairweather. Howard died peacefully with his family around him on January 6th after experiencing unexpected heart challenges. Dorothy shares that Howard was many wonderful things, including being close to brilliant. However, his proudest accomplishment and what he wants to be remembered for is that he was a devoted father. We will have a memorial service here at FRS at a date to be determined, which I will be honored to officiate. We also hold Ken Kretsch in our loving thoughts and prayers as he mourns the death of his beloved wife, Liz, who died on January 5th. Liz died peacefully at High Point House Hospice in Haverhill after her short struggle with cancer. A remarkable number of family and friends came to spend time with Liz in her last days, paying visits, sharing memories, and saying, "I love you." And Ken was with her for her last breath. Her memorial service will be held next Sunday, January 15th at Second Congregational Church in Boxford on Route 133 at 2 p.m. And I'll just share two things about that. One of the beautiful things about Liz and Ken is that they were both incredibly committed members of two different faith communities, and we all just love them all, right? Both. So I will be honored to be there, and I'm sure many of our members will next week. And I also promise Ken that I will deliver that sermon about why do we wait to say I love you. We also lift up and hold in our thoughts and prayers Steve and Liam and Lily Amory and Julie Parker Amory, as Steve's mother died early last week. Steve writes, "Our hearts are broken. Mom passed away unexpectedly this past week. She was a bright, shining light in all of our lives. All you had to do," he writes, "was mention Granny D, or the Queen, as she was affectionately known, and a smile would permeate our faces. A glow would enter our hearts." What a legacy. So we will raise a toast to the Queen, gone but never forgotten. Let's just take a moment and be with those families and the lives that have been lost, that have enriched us, perhaps bringing to our heart members of this congregation who've died before that, members of your family, friends and loved ones. Let us just in our hearts take a moment to remember and say thank you. We also share a few other things. Art Henshaw and Yvonne McQuilkin were both surprised to literally be upended a few days before Christmas. Though I'm thrilled to see them here with us this morning, they both experienced unrelated slip and trip fall accidents with broken ribs, lacerated elbows, sore bodies, bruised egos, and shaken illusions of invulnerability. They do say, and I quote, "We are well aware that these serious wake-up lessons on aging gracefully have come at a modest cost. For this and so much more, we find ourselves deeply and gratefully joyful." We hold James Funston and his husband Bruce DeVoe in our hearts and our thoughts, as James has been grappling with knee and leg problems that have limited his mobility and had a fall on December 26th, and this has kept them from in-person church. Bruce and James miss their FRS friends very much, but are grateful for the online ministry and programs that allow them to watch from home, and they do look forward to being back here with us in the sanctuary soon. We share a delight and a joy from Liz Larson, one of our members online, as she shares that she has been accepted into the Interfaith Chaplaincy Program at the Chaplaincy Institute in Berkeley, California. It is one step forward in the odyssey that is her calling to ministry. She writes, "I am grateful to the FRS community for welcoming me back in by Zoom and modeling a commitment to faith, truth, love, and service. Reestablishing roots in this community for me is one of the many joys of my life." And we light one final candle for all of the sorrows and all of the joys that, although unnamed, are held in just as much love and care. I invite you now to join me in a spirit of prayer, meditation, and centering as we take this time to pause, to feel within ourselves that ever-present well of compassion, of love, of truth, holding in our hearts now all the people that we know that are hurting, bringing to our mind's eyes specific individuals, perhaps those that I've read their names. I'm sure many others that you know and carry in your mind and hearts. Bring them here now. Imagine that we could literally bring their spirits, their bodies, and their souls into the love of this space. Wishing them peace, wishing them comfort, helping them know that they are never alone. Drawing in close to all those we care about and love, the friends, family members, neighbors, colleagues, shopkeepers, animal friends, blessed places in nature. And we send gratitude and thanksgiving for these people and places and creatures that bring us such meaning and such joy. For all those who are sick, we wish health and healing and peace. For all those who need love, we wish connection. We wish a knowing that they belong. And for all the dreams in our own selves, we wish acceptance and honoring and opening to what may be. Amen.
Today's reading is "'Twas the Night Before New Year's" by our own Mark Hodgson. 'Twas the night before New Year's, and all through my head was agnostic appraisal of what has been said by so many prophets of yore and of now, who, blessed by whatever it is that does bless, have lifted our eyes beyond today's mess, and pointed the way to new days we will cherish, and offered us hope and their paths not to perish in culture or soul, if not in the flesh. They teach or have taught us those things that need action, but also, important, what's only distraction. We think of the time that we have while alive, that time we have left with each other to thrive, to spread honest cheer, and to make understood, regardless of why, when, or where, life is good.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mark, and for your permission to share those beautiful words with our gathered body. And thank you, choir. So I have a dilemma. I'm in a bit of a bind. I don't know, maybe I'll get the answer when I share with you what's happening, or maybe you'll give me a clue. So, Unitarian Universalist ministers are taught to write every word we're going to say down, to have it researched, footnoted, checked over, astute, erudite, and very, very researched. All that is right here today. And then in other traditions, pastors, preachers, ministers speak from where Spirit moves them, from where they're called to go. And all of that is right here. This is a dilemma. Do I say these words that are entirely written, researched, and flushed out, or do I say what's on my heart? Heart? Well, that way you won't be late, because if I read all these, we'd be running a little late. What I do promise is that these will be posted, and I've never done this before with you all, though it's a big part of who I am. So perhaps it will make my invitation to you all the more authentic and true. To know that what I'm inviting us into right now is about who we really are. Really are. Not necessarily researched, polished, and all put together, though, trust me, there's a place for that, right? In no way am I disregarding that. But what I want to know is what makes your heart come alive. What I want to know is what are the gifts and the goals that inform those gifts. Look, I think about it this way. I was thinking a lot about our faith tradition, as I am prone to do, and I realized that the only thing we want to know here is who are you? Because we know that intrinsically, each and every person and creature and blade of grass holds the divinity of life within it and you. And that we are all so unique, even as we are so the same. So we don't want to have you be who you think you should be. We don't want to tell you what's right and wrong, or what's acceptable and what's not. We don't say you must believe a certain thing, or love a certain person, or define yourself a certain way, or any of that. We say, come as you are. Yoga pants and bow ties are welcome in this congregation. We want to know who you are. If ever the world has needed people who have come alive, who are bringing their gifts, their uniqueness, their audacity, their beauty to this world. It is now. Now. So, for a long time, I gave up on resolutions. I didn't just give up, I actually rebelled. I got really mad about them. And I didn't make them. And if anybody asked me what my New Year's resolutions was, I was that ardent atheist resolution maker. I said, not me. No goals. No goals. But there's a story, of course, behind that. You see, I actually love goals. I love them. It's sort of how I'm wired. I like to plan, I like to think, I like to imagine, I like to make connections, I like to make meaning. It's just who I am. And as a child, every New Year's Eve, I spent hours doing this with my little candles and my little altars and my little rituals. No one taught them to me. I just somehow knew. I would fill up a legal pad with these goals. And my rule was I couldn't do more than a page, but I not only filled every single line, I went around the margins, and I went up top and back down, and there were usually at least 100. Now, some of these goals were things to remind myself of what was important. They weren't all new things, but I loved it. It was just a part of how I took stock every year. And then somewhere in my 20s, I got introduced to some other ways of thinking or understanding that are a painful and an important part of my own spiritual journey that I'm sure I'll share at some point with you. But it made this sort of thing very complicated for me. It was all about kind of the power of our thoughts and that sort of a thing. And so all of a sudden, it became much more about winning and losing, and did I do it right, and did I achieve them, or didn't I, and what was wrong with me if I didn't. And they became much more about fixing who I thought I should be, as opposed to knowing who I truly am and offering that to the world. As I've said, this church is a place where we celebrate diversity. Because we know that intrinsically, everyone has worth. Every single person has worth and dignity. So I've returned to my resolutions. And today I understand them not at all as self-improvement, definitely not as a list of shoulds, but really as a way to reflect back upon the year, as a way to rekindle what matters to me and remind myself, and also as a way to notice what's been glimmering that year. So I think of goals today and resolutions more as glimmers. And that's where I'm going to invite you to go for the next few minutes. Why glimmers? Why glimmers, and what in the world do I even mean? Well, the problem with goals not only is that they can become very rote, they can become established by other people and shoulds, they also can be very heady. I think goals have a place and a purpose when their role is to have us move closer toward the glimmers. But what I want us to know is what glimmers. Then take your tactics and goals to help you get there. What is that thing that inside of yourself, when you imagine it, you actually catch your breath? What is that thing that when you close your eyes, which I invite you to begin to do now, if you're comfortable or want to, that allows you to literally catch your breath or have your heart skip a beat? So just do that. Imagine now for a moment that you could put everything else aside and just go within yourself And ask yourself, see what happens as I ask you these questions. What is it that you really want to do with this day, this year, this life? What is it that if you knew this was your final hour, who would you want with you? What would be in that room? What people, elements, belongings? What is it, my dear friends, that brings you joy, makes you come alive? Imagine as you were there in that space, in that place, in that room, in that last hour of your life, you see before your eyes this little child, and it's you. It's you from however many years ago that was. And you remember who you were then. And if that child could talk to you, what is it that it would say? Is there a dream that you never followed? An interest that you let fall away? A passion that's always been inside of you? And now as we bring ourselves into this space, you realize that we never know how long we have, but in this moment we are here. We are alive. We have this time. What is it that glimmers for you? You may have something that's come to you, or many things, or nothing, and that's all fine. But I ask you, what is it that you need to forgive in order to let that glimmer come to take a place in your life? What is it you need to forgive yourself for, or another? And what is a judgment that perhaps you have, or a belief that stands in your way of experiencing that? Is it that it's not important enough? That it's silly? That no one would understand? Too big? Too bold? My friends, every single one of us has those things that make us who we are. It may be to dance. It may be to hold a piece of grass, meadow grass. It may be to stand under the moonlight, alone or with friends. It may be to publish the book, go for the new job, say no, say yes. It's yours. It's you. And as I said, and have said many times, Howard Thurman's quote of "Ask not what the world needs, but what makes you come alive," because the world needs people who have come alive. So my hope and prayer for each and every one of us is that whatever that is, you take that step. You allow it in, you notice the glimmer, and you pause and befriend it. Thank you for allowing me to share a little more of my heart and soul with you this morning, and I can't wait to see the glimmers in this sanctuary in the days, months, and times to come. Amen. Now let's rise in body or in spirit and join in our closing hymn, also in the teal hymnal this morning, which is hymn number 1028, Fire of Commitment. And maybe hold that glimmer in your mind as you sing this. So that paper and that gold sticker, here is my invitation to you. Either during the postlude, before you leave, when you leave from here, but take a moment and note the glimmer. Write down what came to you, just for yourself, and seal it with a kiss. Seal it with that gold star, and then put it in the place that calls to you. Stick it in a hymnal, take it home and put it under a favorite book. Put it under your pillow, for goodness sakes. Give it to a loved one. Put it in the stream. But name that glimmer, and then bless it and let it come into fruition. So let's join our voices now in our unison benediction while Steve extinguishes the chalice. The words are in your order of service. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. My friends, as we go from this place, may we embrace the diversity within ourselves. May we flame each other's embers and glitters. May we never be the people that stomp on another's dreams. But let us turn to ourselves and each other with passion, with love, with tenderness, with joy. For within each and every person, there is a rose, there is a place. And that rose and that place deserves all the encouragement, love, and care that it could possibly have. Go in peace, my friends, and return again in great joy. Amen and blessed be.